funniest pets and people. A guy who's a horse for a dog who's a guy. The dog gets taken for a ride. A bride is rejected. A dog with a frog in his throat. Some kids will get your goat. And a cantankerous cowboy rides into the sunset. It's the show that will have you sick. Stay, laugh, and beg for more. Welcome to Funniest Pets and People. Whether you're watching the show or whether you are in the show, there are 3 words that describe it. This is fun. Hardwood floors are probably best cleaned with a dry mop, but for my money, it's a lot more fun to use a schnauzer. Okay, sure, it isn't as tough as monkey in the middle, but sure is more difficult than hamster in the middle. As in the middles go, giraffe in the middle is the toughest. You just can't get anything past him. And snake in the middle is by far the easiest. I mean, you might as well just play catch, am I right, people? But for having lots of fun and killing some time on a rainy afternoon, you cannot go wrong with a high-spirited game of kitty in the middle. Rolling over is one of the easiest tricks in Pierre's repertoire. But he learned long ago that if he made it look really difficult, he got bigger treats. Pierre, you are really a sneaky parrot, n'est-ce pas? Everyone loves when the mail comes. Unless all you get are past dues, final notices, and collection actions for unpaid bone bills. You see, Rover received all these credit cards when he was in obedience school. He learned how to sit, how to shake and heel, but he really never learned how to handle his credit. Yep, he'll be paying for that and the bones for a long, long time. Everybody laughed when these doggies bought a lottery ticket. I mean, come on, the odds are astronomical anyway, and you add to that the fact that a dog had never won. Well, no one is laughing now. Now that they've won, they have their humans at their beck and call. They swore if they won, they'd sit back and enjoy the ride, and it looks like they are doing just that. Living the dream, baby. Living the dream. When the neighborhood watch alerted families that a cat burglar was prowling about, many of them set up hidden cameras. And boy, were they surprised at the results. Who in their right mind would have suspected that the cat burglar was actually a dog? Meow. Since Adam was dressed in such festive colors, Snaggles mistook him for one of those kitty climbers. Good thing for Adam, Snaggles did not mistake him for a scratching post. Poor Marmalade. I thought she was smarter than that. When will all animals realize that the only thing that works is diet and exercise, period? Contraptions like these, they only make your wallet thinner. May seem unnecessary, it may seem like a waste of money. You might assume you will go your whole career without ever needing one. But When certain situations arise, you'll be glad you hired an umbrella wrangler. Go ahead, take your collar off, all the way off. It's time for Funniest Pets and People Unleashed. Oh, isn't that sweet? When we told Ebenezer that he was going to appear on the show, he only had one reaction. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Oh, au contraire, Ebenezer. You are plenty worthy. Okay, make a wish and blow out your candles. How did he know she was going to wish for a sister instead? It's okay, there are birthday do-overs. Now, about that sister? Christmas is associated with lots of smells. You have the sense of sugar cookies and gingerbread, fruitcake, peppermints, holly, pine, Yule logs, gumdrops, and mistletoe. But in this house, Christmas has pretty much always smelled like, well, like Earl here. Lou Bob here was a horse whisperer. Right now, he is whispering for the horse to whoa. Maybe Lou Bob should be a horse yeller. Or at the very least, a horse speaking in a normal tone of voice. See, whispering doesn't always get everyone's attention. Does it, Lou Bob? Traditionally, the woman who catches the bouquet is the next to get married, right? Uh-oh, this could get complicated. Is there a lawyer in the house? Is your reception too early to start dating again? Atta girl, you better give someone else a chance, right? Ginger got her nickname because of a bad bout of the old gingivitis. So now it has cleared up, and she wants the world to know that it's time for a new nickname. Way to go, Smiley. Why would someone videotape their dog snoring in the middle of the night? Well, two reasons. One, incredibly cute. Two, when Maggie May here is snoring, no one in the house is going to get any sleep anyway. Living in Pothole Vista, home of the world's largest pothole, does have its trade-offs. Sure, the pothole brings in the tourists and garners a lot of media attention. But getting around town can be a bit of a challenge. Christopher has seen his older brothers get their mouths washed out with soap plenty of times. Now, Christopher may not be able to talk yet, but when he does, he'll already have built up some soap credit.
Jen, I will get your picture to me of the baby out of Link's car. I haven't seen it yet.
Ladies, you may want to cover your ears. Here's something you don't see every day. A dog and a turkey playing duck, duck, goose.
Go turkey! Go turkey! Go turkey!
Looks like the dogs are lining up for a little Red Rover, Red Rover. Well, go ahead, send Tom Turkey over.
Well, no, that's not fair. Whoa.
Coming up, a cat lets himself in. And let's get ready to stumble when we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. Boy, time flies when you're having fun, which is why playtime seems like it's gone immediately. You know what they say about curiosity in cats, right? In this case, all curiosity did was get them a little dirty. When Polly told her owner she wanted a playmate, this is not what she meant. No, seriously, it's fun and all that, but Polly was hoping to bat this thing back and forth with another bird. Baby goats are just like college kids when it comes to being resourceful. They used this old cable spool to make a climbing mountain, and back in their house, they took 3 cinder blocks and some 2x4s, and they made a really great shelf for their stereo, okay? A lot of people think cats hate birds. Not true. No, they're just jealous of their sweet, sweet cages. Nice digs, huh, Mia? Mia just wants to check it out. Uh-huh. Now Mia knows why the caged bird sings. Let this clip be a lesson to all of us. Any 2 living things are potential friends, neighbors, and brothers in spirit. You know, until their regular friends find out. But until then, oh, it's just beautiful, man. The best thing about playing cards with a bird is that they are incapable of cheating. You ever try to hide an ace under your wing? Can't be done. People will tell you that the rat race is tough, but nothing will chew you up and spit you out like the stick pony race. The following clips are kind of like working as an elevator operator. They have their ups and downs.
Maxie, jump.
How cute. They think Max is jumping to entertain them. Actually, he's the lookout while his brother is cleaning out the fridge. Can you blame him? All that jumping builds quite the appetite.
Jump.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Willard Thompson share their first kiss as man and wife. And their first awkward moment as man and wife. Don't worry. Marriage is filled with lots of kisses and lots of awkward moments. Oops, must be Saturday. Bandit knows that the newspaper runs those free puppies to a good home ads on Saturdays. I mean, he likes puppies and all. Come on, who doesn't, right? But Bandit is pretty happy being an only dog, and, well, he wants to keep it that way. The rule book clearly states that the referee is to be considered part of the playing field. So they're going to mow him down. Being the Easter Bunny's understudy is not easy, but Rufus here keeps in top physical shape just in case. Yep, Rufus practices hopping every single day. Even though the Easter Bunny hasn't used a sick day in over 700 years, boys and girls all around the world can rest assured that if the Easter Bunny ever does get sick, Rufus will be right there. For Rufus, it is hippity-hoppity, Easter is always on its way. Range 32 degrees. 32 degrees. Latitude 41 degrees. 41 degrees. Fire! We have missed the target. Prepare to reload. Walking under a ladder brings nothing but bad luck, right? Well, you can't expect a chipmunk to know that. Don't do it, Mr. Chipmunk. Oh, no. The only way to make the bad luck go away is to spell Mississippi backwards 3 times during a full moon. But Chipmunk can't spell, and it's daytime. Ah, I knew it. Coming up, a really cold duck on ice. And a sled dog, sort of. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. Some like it subtle, some like it bold. Any snowman will tell you, some like it cold. Dabney flew south for the winter. Problem is, he flew too far south. See, if you end up at the South Pole, you probably should have just saved your strength and stayed up north. You think it's frustrating when you can't open a pickle jar. Well, try doing it with hooves. In the snow. At this hour. With gas prices so crazy, Bob went a different route. It may not be luxurious, but he gets 75 miles per bag of kibble. Boy, don't you hate it when a glimpse behind the scenes ruins all the movie magic? Now, when you see this in the theaters and the film is all cleaned up, it'll look like Prince Pupini is flying his magic carpet through the clouds over fictitious Albaruni Abulu, when in actuality it's just a rug being pulled through the snow by a snowmobile. That is why Hollywood is the dream factory.
As far as I know, I'm the only one who can do this.
You know, for every successful sport like baseball or football, there are literally thousands that never caught on. Like, for instance, the ankle bone coin toss.
Well, that'll take some time. I'm going to flip a quarter off my ankle. Notice there's nothing there but part of a couch and a ruled paper to show how high it is.
One more time. Heads, you stop doing this. Tails, we never speak of it again.
And there's a flip. I'd say about a 12 inch.
These videos are ready for the big time. This would be number 2 on the bird's list of fears he wants to overcome. After this, it's on to the lion's cage. In the dog world, this is the equivalent of having a cherry on top of your ice cream. Never underestimate the power of a garnish. Coming up, a flyby looting when we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. And here is the reason you should not eat at the beach. Seagulls are all on seafood diets. They diet on all the food they see. See you next time.